A personal encounter with God shared with you.
Years ago, when my daughters were still very little, I remember hearing a powerful sermon from my pastor about seizing the moment. He emphasized that we should never let an opportunity slip away, especially when it comes to sharing what Jesus can do for us. Whether it's healing, freedom from life's burdens, or the chance to develop a personal relationship with Him, every moment counts. Little did I know that message would become so significant in my own life, especially as I faced one of the toughest moments at that time I encountered. At that time, my father was battling cancer. The prognosis was grim, stage 4 cancer with only a few months to live. My father, who had been raised in a Christian home and believed in Jesus, hadn't had a personal relationship with Him in years. Unfortunately, past experiences with pastors preaching condemnation instead of love and forgiveness had left him feeling judged and distant from the church. I remember one visit to the hospital with my sister and her husband, trying to find a way to approach the subject of faith and prayer. My heart was heavy, but I also knew this might be my last chance to lead him to Jesus. As I sat there, shifting uncomfortably in my chair, I found it hard to find the right words. Fear and uncertainty filled my mind, but the urgency to take that step forward pushed me to act. I turned to him, gathered all the courage I could, and said, "Dad, I would like to pray with you because I want you to go to heaven." The words felt big and heavy, but also filled with love. My sister and her husband stepped outside to give us space, leaving me to share this precious moment with my father. We prayed the prayer of salvation together. My father, teary-eyed and emotional, accepted Jesus into his heart, confessed Jesus as Lord, and asked for forgiveness for his sins. That moment was life-changing for both of us, but it was also just the beginning of a journey towards God through testimonials from my sisters. 2 months later, just 2 nights before his passing, my father prayed again, but this time it was a personal moment between him and God. Alone in his room, he felt a peace, and he knew that he was ready, and that was all that mattered. I often wonder what holds us back from stepping out and praying for others. Is it the fear of rejection? The fear that our prayers might go unanswered? I've certainly faced those doubts. But time and time again, when I step out of my comfort zone, despite feeling insecure, God moves in miraculous ways, not because of any ability within me, but because of His power working through me. I recall a time when I had a difficult conversation with someone at church. This person was struggling with real-life problems, and as I listened, God spoke through me in ways I couldn't have predicted. The words of wisdom that came from my mouth left both of us in awe, as it was clear that God was right there with us in that conversation. It wasn't me. It was God's Spirit guiding every word. I also remember praying for a non-believer who was suffering from back pain. The next day, she spent the entire day cutting grass and weeding without any muscle cramps or pain. Her amazement was inspiring, and she was so grateful. The truth was, I knew it wasn't through any of my power. It was through God's power, His grace, and His will. Most recently, my sister's cancer returned. After a heartfelt conversation, 2 of my sisters stepped out of their comfort zone and asked if they could pray for her. And in a most unexpected place, a McDonald's parking lot, they prayed. And once again, God worked powerfully through their prayers. Everyone was deeply emotional as God's presence was undeniably felt in that moment. All we need to do is take that first step. When we do, God takes care of the rest. We just need willing hearts and the courage to sometimes place ourselves in uncomfortable situations. When we do, God's power works through us in ways we can't even imagine. But it's always His power, not ours. As the Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So if you're hesitant to step out and pray for someone today, take that first step of faith. You don't have to be confident in your abilities, just trust that God will work through you. It's not about your power, but about allowing Him to move through you and be glorified. If this story has touched your heart, take a moment today to reach out to someone in need, offer a prayer, and let God work through you. Don't let fear hold you back from being a vessel for His love and power.
To help us share this message, please like and subscribe. If the story touched you, feel free to leave a comment.